Behold, the baby.
Hello everybody, my name is Mansa. Top tier morning voice, am I right? Did the Among Us clip get you? I thought it was funny. It's probably not funny. Anyways, as a child, have you ever imagined your favorite stuffed animal as a real animal or a real person? Don't sit there like, oh, that's cringe, that's too above me. Maybe you're boring. On to the Speedpaint. You know, I would have no room to talk about imagination, seeing as I have aphantasia. Aphantasia is basically a spectrum of being unable to process mental images in your head. The human mind is capable of producing mental images where we can see something perfectly in our head. However, there are a vast majority of people who struggle to see mental images, such as myself. Some people can struggle to see it as maybe faded pictures. They could see it as outline. I see nothing, which I didn't know was a thing until my friend brought it up, and I'm like, what? You could see things in your head? I didn't know that was a thing. This is Polly Bear. Polly for short. Polly Bear is my favorite stuffed animal. I've had Polly for about 20 years, actually. He's an old boy, and I love him. I remember being young and my brother had a polar bear stuffed animal that wasn't Polly, and I was like, I want a polar bear stuffed animal. And then I got Polly, and then I was super happy. I showed him off to everybody in preschool. I brought him everywhere I could when I could. When I brought him to school, it was for show and tell and pajama day. I remember during pajama day in 5th grade, I had brought Polly, and we had to do PE, and I was holding Polly, and I was holding him kind of by the neck, I guess, and then my teacher was like, you're strangling that bear, and I'm like, no, he's safe in my arms, see? And then I just kept running. Polly was so important to me. I would freak out if he ever went missing, or like I lost him, or I couldn't find him. I like went nuts. I used to take Polly to my babysitter's house when we were staying there. I took him with me on shopping trips and car rides and vacation. When I slept, I used to always hug Polly until the morning. I used to pet Polly before I went to bed and pretend he looked at me and said everything's gonna be okay. The reason Polly Bear is so important to me is because I've been through hell and back growing up, and that polar bear has been there for me the entire time. And my parents knew that this polar bear, this little stuffed animal, was my favorite, and it meant a lot to me because whenever they saw me with it, they're like, yeah, that's your stuffed animal, right? A lot of people find it weird when I tell them the story because they're like, comfort objects are weird. And I'm like, comfort people are weird. I've had a lot of medical issues growing up, so having Polly by my side during those hard times was always nice. Whether it be from wearing a tight body brace 23 hours a day for 7 days a week, or getting braces and having the pain of it being tightened every time, or going through surgeries and coming out and recovering with Polly. Coming home at the end of the day and seeing Polly after school was always nice. I was always so busy with the work that school gave me, and I got bullied a lot, so I just had something to comfort me. There was a lot of times where Polly was just my comfort. I had a lot of people in my life leave me, people I thought were my friends, grieving over the death of one of my best friends, and so much more. Sorry, this is supposed to be a happy video. So, the designs of Polly, let's talk about it. My designs lately have been really inspired by Tetsuya Nomura. If you don't know who that is the creator of Kingdom Hearts and the character designer for Final Fantasy. So I made a new persona ref and design, and the clothing is based off Sora and Noctis, and my own coloring. Polly is currently rocking that Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of style. If you see the patterns on his shoulders, that's a sun, a moon, and an eclipse, and that's part of my OC story. I also just genuinely like space. I'm gonna add astronomy anywhere I can. Because Polly has been so comforting to me, I wanted to give him such like a really kind personality, soft, kind of like the soft boy aesthetic. He has like a little sweater with a star on it. There wasn't much I could do to make his anthro and feral kind of form unique. It's a polar bear, he's just all white. I will never get over the fact that polar bears aren't actually white, they're transparent, and then the snow is reflecting off their transparent fur. Just like blue jays aren't blue, and we're all living lies. My two favorite colors are orange and blue, but I felt like yellow would look nicer on this kind of design. There's a little black spot on his nose, and I'm not sure what it is, but instead I decided to interpret that as some kind of birthmark, and I had a really hard time coming up with a design for Polly because I never really imagined him as a real person but a real animal. But I did want to give like a human design to him, so I was like trying to think what kind of thing could I give him. I wanted to give him white hair, I wanted to give him like a white outfit, and I think I landed on something I like. Something simple but unique. It's nice. I would have definitely put a pattern on the back of that coat, but I just did not know what to do. If that coat were real, I would wear it every day. If you're new here, hi. I make a lot of OCs. I have over 130 OCs in my toy house. I used to make my OCs overly complicated when I was younger and hard to replicate because I thought they looked cool, but the older you get and the more into animation you get, you're like, wow, I need this to be unique but simple. Main storyline to my characters is called Spawn the Stars, but there's different sub-stories in Spawn the Stars, and I wanted to make one for my stuffed animal OCs. I don't quite have the concept fleshed out or the name for it. I do have a few names in mind that I've been thinking about, but I haven't really decided what I want the name to be yet. So the story name I've been thinking about is one of these few. Beloved Wonders, Sewn by Love, and Destiny Stitches. I wanted to have a story where they're still stuffed animals, but they can become real at the request of their handlers, such as Mansa and Polly. Toy Stories. It's like when Andy leaves the room and all the toys come alive, except a little different. So in this story, the handler knows their toys are alive, and they can make them real at their request, and make them go back to the item at their request as well. I want this story to be a happy story. It's kind of nostalgic and reflective of that childhood imagination and wonder. The stuffed animals are part of you, and the way they look and sound and all that is reflective on how you feel about your stuffed animal and how you've always pictured them. They have 5 forms. The first form is their regular item stuffed animal form. The second form is like just a talking little stuffed animal that can move very slightly. The third form is the real animal form. The fourth form is an anthro form, and the fifth form is human or hybrid form. My friends have asked me before, what if they hate you? And I'm like, I don't want a story where the stuffed animals hate you. The animals can be mad and sad and angry at you, but it's not going to be the kind of anger that drives them to try and kill you in your sleep, okay? People, when they make things sentient, they always have this kind of thought that if they're sentient, there's going to be a way they can kill us. And I don't know why that is, but I just want to have a sentient thing that, you know, they understand they can kill you, but they won't. They just won't. They love you too much. That kind of thing. But honestly, I feel like that kind of thing stems from robots, because we've made some really realistic AIs, and we're like, dang, that thing's gonna take over the world and kill everybody. I want to go on adventures with Polly. I want to talk to him. I want him to, you know, be kind and caring like I always pictured him and all that. Imagine how nice it would be if you're lonely and there's no one there for you, and then suddenly your stuffed animal becomes real and then there is someone there for you. I'm talking about this in a fantasy aspect, by the way. I would never want this in real life just because I feel like they would tell me the creepiest things and they would scare me. If my stuffed animal in real life wise were to become real, I would be kind of terrified of him because he'd probably tell me he watches me in my sleep and he sees everything I do and like every opinion that's formed of so the thing is, it's hard to talk about, like, it would be hard to talk to your stuffed animal because I see everything you do, and their entire life is sitting on something like a bed or a shelf or something. Real life wise, I would never want them to become sentient because I'd be afraid of them and they'd tell me creepy things about things they've seen. But fantasy-wise, I'm okay with it. I feel like in real life, you could talk to your stuffed animal, right? And they won't really ever say anything to you, and also the fact that they don't know anything else besides where you take them or where you put them, so their entire lifetime is sitting on a shelf. They don't know anything about the world but just whatever they see of you. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary and everything in between, we have reached the end of the video. Let me know if you would like more commentary videos because I'm really trying to experiment with my channel here. I've never really done too many commentary things because of my voice dysphoria, but I feel like I'm getting a little better with it and not really minding how my voice sounds anymore as much as I think I am, but it's still up there. But Polly's ref is done. I really like his design. I love the color palette that I've chosen for him, and I like, you know, I think this is the perfect boy, in my opinion. I do plan on making more stuffed animals into OCs and making that story that I was talking about. So if you would like to see those stuffed animals come to life, let me know because I have more stuffed animals that are from my childhood that I can talk about, and some of them have funny stories to them. The next few I plan on are Wishes the Dragon, Patches the Giraffe, Grey Hops the Bunny, and Hawaii the Turtle. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. Comment down below about your favorite stuffed animal. How would you design them if they were human? And do you have any memories with them? Any stories to tell about your favorite stuffed animal? Let me know. And with that, I bid you farewell. Bye-bye. This whole recording is just me trying to fight against background noise. There's just so much background noise, and for what?